You know what one I've done?
The big red one. Oh, no.
It's that big red brake line for sure.
Tanker driver Steve Hughes is loading up for a supply run to remote clients who need fuel before the wet season cuts them off. When you drive tankers deep into the wilderness, every step of the journey is critical.
Up and down, pretty up and down sort of going. It's going to be awful hot outside, so we're sitting in here in the aircon. This is the best part about the job at times.
Driving such a dangerous cargo, Steve knows only too well what can go wrong.
You know, every now and again when you see an idiot on the road driving erratically, you think, well, if they come into me, well, it could be all over for everyone involved, and it's not just you and them, you know. If you've got a fully loaded trailer here full of petrol, well, there's going to be a big hole in the ground, and there's going to be people in surrounding areas could be affected by it too, you know, depending on how big the bang is. You try not to think about it, I guess. Just go along and don't look in the mirrors too much to see what it is behind you.
With over 20 tonnes of fuel on board, Steve's tanker is starting to strain on the steep incline.
We're slow going up hills.
All he can do is watch as car after car tries to squeeze past before the overtaking lane ends. Until one driver pushes his luck too far.
Where's he going to go? You are going to stay there, aren't you? He decided, no, he wasn't going to get stuck behind the truck, and I just about looked out the window down on the bonnet of his car as I was changing lanes, and he was still coming until a car came around the corner and forced him to stop and had to drop in behind me. If he's in front of me, I'll let him in, but if they're still coming from behind, well, that's their problem as far as I'm concerned, if they're stupid enough to put themselves out there. But that's the kind of thing you've got to put up with, unfortunately. In one corner, it's blue skies. You look in the other corner, it's cloudy. You look in another corner, it's black. Look in another corner, and it's pissing down. So you really just take your chances this time of year when you're out here on these roads. That's the Peninsula Road. As you can see from Cooktown, it's closed all the way to Weipa.
Steve's run will take him deep into the tropical wilderness, where roads become dirt tracks that can disappear underwater in minutes.
The road at the moment is a bit chopped up in places as we go through. If you go into a hole like that, you know, you hit that at speed, it drops in and picks the back up off the ground and it'll just roll you straight over.
With over 28,000 litres of highly explosive fuel on board, Steve's carrying a potential bomb.
Corrugations become big corrugations, become holes, and you can lose a small car in some of them. Water here.
The delivery is to an isolated filling station that's almost run out of fuel.
About 100 litres in that one.
Next stop for Steve is a cattle station, Bullock Creek. It's only accessible by a dirt road that's taken heavy rain in the last 2 days.
It's holding out. No more rain tonight. I think I'll be all right to go down the U-turn road tomorrow. All being well, it'll be down to Gingerella, across to Bullock Creek, and back to Cairns by mid-afternoon tomorrow. All right, Tommy, all done, mate?
No.
See you next round.
Yeah, dude.
See you, mate. See ya.
mate.
Hey, is that Tony?
Yeah, speaking.
Yeah, g'day Tony, it's Steve from Reliance, mate.
Yeah, mate.
Hey, I was just wondering if you got any information on Utan Road, if I'm right to go down there on from the Almaden end.
No, mate. Down here, it's completely buggered, mate. There's bloody scours, and you'd say the area with it was real bad, mate.
All right, well, that's what it is, mate. That's what I'll have to
Yeah.
do. Yep.
No worries, mate.
All right, thanks, Tony. Well, that's not what I wanted to hear. So, the day just got longer by about 4.5 hours, I reckon.
A closed road means a massive detour.
I've got to go around the long way. The short way's out.
The worst possible news at the end of a long and difficult day, with a night drive ahead of him.
Some of the big animals are starting to get out and about, and after dark up through here, yeah, the cattle and the kangaroos tend to take over. You haven't got much warning, whilst it's not too bad in a truck of this size. They bounce off these things pretty well. It's still something you don't need to be doing if you don't have to be doing it, pushing through it, and, you know, like knocking the gear in and that sort of thing, because they go underneath and they do damage underneath. So, Skippy, would have done 12 hours. That's enough for the day. It's rather than push on any further, I'll just get up to the roadhouse and have a meal and a shower and go to bed and hit it around daylight in the morning. And the cattle and the kangaroos can have the road all to themselves. Rain coming down good now, mate.
More rain is the last thing he needs.
Kilometres wise, extra today, probably somewhere in the area of about 300 to 350 k's out of my way.
The forced detour is taking Steve onto roads he's not familiar with. But he knows what bad weather does to bad country tracks.
You'll come along to a creek crossing and you'll either be able to get through it or you won't be able to get through it. So you always make sure you got food and water with you, so that if you've got to sit it out for a while, well, you're not going to go without. And of course, you can't turn around in there. Once you're sort of sitting at the edge of a creek, you've pretty much got to wait it out, unless you want to back for miles. And you know, when it's wet, you don't want to push these things off the side of the road because they go straight down. And so you sit it out. As soon as the water's down, then you're good to go again. You press on and hope that the next one's going to be just as good. That water was up a fair way there, and the rain is all around at the moment. Everywhere I look, it's black. Pretty sure there will be more water not far up here. That wasn't too bad. Not real confident about Bullock Creek at this stage, simply because looking out there in front of us, that's starting to get a bit dark, and if that starts belting down now, that could bring the water up, and I could be between a rock and a hard place. Fuel truck on site.
Without checking the roads up ahead, this is as far as Steve is prepared to go in his fuel tanker.
I'd like to go and see it with my own eyes before I take the truck down there, because I can't turn it around down there.
Luckily, a local quarry has agreed to lend him a four-wheel drive.
getting a bit apprehensive about this one in here, simply because it's building up behind me and it's going to rain. Here we go. Look at this. I'm not going through there. Don't even know where the crossing is here. Yep, definitely not taking this on. I don't even know how deep that is. There's no markers here to tell you. No. The time it takes me to go in there, that could get even deeper here, and I really don't want to be stuck here. Just not worth it. You just don't know what's down there. Love the tropics. Oh, there he is.
The station owner knows it's a lost cause, but how long can he last without fuel?
Are you going to be hanging out for a while? Like, that'll get you through a bit longer, that diesel? When do you reckon we might be able to get back in here, Michael? March. There you go, March.
That's 2 months away.
We might leave it at that for now then, mate.
After a 350-kilometre wasted journey, Steve Hughes is back on his run, with one quick delivery to make before he heads home. But his luck isn't getting any better.
The Dipstick, I think it's walked. Someone come along and grab it and go and walk about with it. Yeah. I can't do anything until I dip it and see whether or not it'll fit or not. So I can't just go, yeah, it'll fit, because it comes out on the ground and... So, not going there. So he's just going to have a look for us. Once he finds it, we can work out what's in there, I can fill it. But until then, no good trying to guess it.
Without the Dipstick, Steve's in a difficult position. He wants to help his customers, but he can't afford to break the rules.
You got to cover your ass a fair bit in this sort of game, because as soon as fuel goes on the ground, well, all hell breaks loose.
The only way Steve can safely supply them is to try to work out how much they've used since the last delivery.
Have you got a record of your last dips? How often do you guys dip? Every afternoon or something like that?
Wednesday or Fridays.
OK, so if you got Friday's dip, that'll tell me how much is in there on Friday, because I've got 3,000 litres.
These are the ones that I do.
1,600.
Yeah.
OK. We've just confirmed the dip on that tank, which is 1,600 litres, and it's a 5,500 litre tank. That gives us 900 litres leeway with the 3,000 that I'm going to put in, so we can do the drop. OK, that's good. That's done now, and with the wet season looming, that should see them through for, easy 6 weeks now.
It's been a long trip, but Steve wouldn't swap his life on the open road. House mover Robbie Mackay has taken on another near impossible assignment.
It's wide and it's long. It's a long distance. It's just basically a nightmare.
His crew is moving a house 30 metres long and 8 metres wide from a difficult site in the rain.
At the moment, like in Brisbane, it rains every day. The front yard is all ready. You can see it's already wrecked, but we're definitely going to get bogged in the front yard.
That one there, cut the bottom of it.
Robbie's under pressure from two sides. A developer who wants the house gone.
He needs to build, he's already behind schedule.
And the new owner who wants it delivered in a hurry.
They're the ones who are saying, like, just bring it.
The house is too high to move with the roof on, so it has to be dismantled. Easy in the dry, a nightmare with rain around.
Houses like this, like a cut with the roof coming off in the rain, isn't good, especially fully renovated.
They're racing to get the job finished before the next downpour.
So cut that post and that post, and that one over there, I'll just lower it down.
As always, Robbie's right-hand man, Shane Burgess, is in charge of the load.
We've got tarps up there ready to go over if it starts raining to cover the roof. And the mud, we'll just play in it like normal. Yeah, put some mats down. It's got to go tomorrow night. Like all the permits are in, it's all ready to go. The fuel is here today, so there's no reason why we can't be on schedule.
Getting the trailers under the house is going to be the biggest challenge.
It's a bit of a difficult site, obviously tight access, but there's also a retaining wall that, like 2 metres underneath the house, it drops 2 metres.
Robbie's trailers are high-tech.
They're hydraulic trailers, so basically they're all independent axles.
They can be manoeuvred into impossible places.
We'll suck an axle up and we'll drive back, and then put that axle down, and then suck the next one up and drive back further, then put the next one down.
But with a 20-tonne house above and nothing below, there's plenty that can go wrong. Their 30-metre trailer is stuck.
Can you get around that or not?
With the house on top and a 1.5-metre drop below.
Yeah, lock the back one.
Foreman Shane's got double trouble.
Lock those front two tacks.
The stranded trailer and above, more driving rain.
Spread the tarps over.
With the roof removed for transporting, the team is scrambling to get tarps on to stop the water wrecking the interior. Down below, Shane's putting in extra support to hold the house safely in place so he can reposition the trailer.
It's a bit tight getting in. As you can see from out the front, it's not that we can back straight in. We're on a big angle.
With wheels on solid ground, they can start inching the trailer through the numerous obstacles. There's little room to manoeuvre. Every angle is tight.
They don't get him going forward a bit. Right hand down.
Every move.
Chase it.
Lifting, tilting,
At that.
and turning the 15-tonne trailer without dislodging a load-bearing support. It has to be positioned just right. Ready to bear the weight of 20 tonnes of house.
We've got the trailer under. Now we've got to pack it up on the trailer, like under all your bearers and joists, and then we'll lift the trailer up and up under the house to pin it.
The second trailer isn't proving any easier.
Back at that third axle right up to that wall. Yeah. Right.
It's another tight squeeze. Shane will have to use every trick these specialist trailers are capable of. Adding to the danger, Shane and his crew have discovered they're moving 2 homes, and the residents of this one are getting angry.
Oh. Wasp got me.
Time for the house to be cut in 2.
This rain's still hanging around, so hopefully it'll stay away, but yeah, we've just got tarps on there at the moment, so we'll just pull the tarps back, take that part of the roof down, cover it up. Yeah, then start cutting it in half, like get it separated.
While Shane soars, above him there's trouble. The rain's too heavy for the roof tarps. Water pooling on polished floors. And in the ceiling.
Heads up!
We got to pull this insulation out, the whole ceiling's going to go.
Water on the gyprock just made it real soft and heavy. And she's just hit the deck. Now, a bit of plaster work to be done in there. Skylight happening.
Meanwhile, the house is proving difficult to separate. The next downpour suddenly hits. leaving the team scrambling to secure the
Poor
task.
little one. Go, 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 go. Just unroll it, go, 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 unroll. Top it up before the air gets too wet. As you can see, it's getting wet really quick. Grab that one there, unroll the rest of the way, we'll all unfold it.
The storm's got the jump on them, and the result's not pretty.
No, the white one! They're about here too much anyway. Got to save them other rooms. That's got to come this way like a foot.
It's a nightmare, from one room to the next.
The minute we got it topped up, it started raining. I opened it back up and keep going.
The break in the weather means the team can get on with separating the house.
There she goes. It's apart. Finally. Yeah, if it wasn't for the rain, it would have been a lot better, but that's the way it goes. Wait, trail breaks up for a minute. Yeah, well, it's all cut apart. Just got to move them apart a bit so we can put some bracing on them and tidy them up and get them ready for the night.
With the house halves finally loaded, Shane and the boys can take a break before the big move starts at midnight. When it comes to trucking houses, Robbie's the man.
It's a decent size, especially coming out of the CBD. Hopefully it'll pull out. That front yard is like a swamp, so yeah, when we start climbing up onto there, hopefully it doesn't sink too much. It's gonna be a bit of fun, but we'll get this show on the road, we'll get all these cars out of the way and get moving. Once we can turn out here onto Lutwich Road, we basically want to go wrong side all the way down there.
Armed with his permits and police escort, Robbie takes the lead truck and inches the convoy out into the narrow Brisbane streets.
Yeah, you're right, couple hundred. Yeah, keep coming.
All right, mate?
Yeah, you're right. All good.
Robbie's house-moving convoy has made it to the Gold Coast and the delivery site.
All right, so we're at the block, and it's literally just stopped raining. We'll drop this fence out of the way, have a look and see what we got.
Heavy rain has left the recently cleared suburban block a muddy mess.
We're just putting down the AV mats to try and stay up, but it's pretty wet, so see how it goes.
Yeah, mate. Get extra room, you're on the mats.
It's dirty work.
You're off the mats.
Without the mats, the wheels quickly sink up to the axles.
We're bogged.
The trailer hydraulics are the only thing that can get them out of trouble. There are a lot of wheels on these trailers. That means a lot of lifting and a lot of shifting mats.
Walked in here and I was sinking in boots into the mud, but surprisingly it's holding up. Get it a bit harder to you.
It's been a long night, but the house halves are finally in place.
Tomorrow, we'll lift them up. It's going high set, so we'll lift them up, join them together, dig all the stump holes, put that roof on, and stump it, roof it, finish her off.
In rural New South Wales, Oversized load veteran Warwick Smith has an oversized problem. His load, a 20-year-old river cat, is half a metre longer than he expected. The authorities want to check the boat is within the size and weight limits for his permit.
5'2", 5'6",
Yep. 5'6".
and 5'8".
5'8".
Warwick's permit is for 25 tonnes. The numbers add up to 30.
You got 5.5 tonne there, you've got to get off.
It's a bitter blow.
Very disappointing.
He doesn't have the right trailer to take the river cat to Melbourne, leaving him with no choice but to abandon ship.
Unfortunately, we won't be able to complete this job.
An SOS has been sent out and a rescue team has answered the call. The man on deck, Bob Scruffy Belcher, has just the trailer for the job.
This one here gives you more stability for starters, and on top of that it's a lot longer trailer.
Midnight, and the old boat is finally ready to set sail.
It is dark out there and you can't hardly see anything.
Straight away, the convoy is put to the test.
That damn corner where the traffic lights is.
You clear right through there.
It's definitely going to be tight.
With a huge load, in bad light, he's relying on his pilot to tell him what's going on at the back of the trailer.
Come back over again.
Swing over there.
Scruffy squeezed past.
The roads are not built for what we actually got on the back, so we've got to deal with it.
But dealing with it has cost valuable time.
You don't know what to expect. You don't know what's coming around the next corner.
Scruffy needs to be through Sydney by daybreak. Delays from roadworks are the last thing he needs.
I wonder why we can't just go down the left-hand side here.
200 metres of cones and signs need to be moved to let Scruffy by. Scruffy's finally made it out of Sydney. He's beaten the curfew. Ahead, it's a clear road, but driving flat out is not an option. Even at low speeds, the river cat is struggling.
That one. See that there?
A window pane has come loose.
Making sure that the windows don't fall out.
No matter what Scruffy does, this boat is breaking up.
You can't transport it any slower than I have been.
2 a.m. Scruffy's got 3 hours to get into Melbourne and make a challenging delivery. And playing on his mind, a narrow entrance gate at the delivery yard.
Concerned I'm not going to make the turn.
He'll need to make his rig shorter. Scruffy unhooks the dolly near the delivery site.
We've got half an hour to get back there, hook it up, and then on top of that, we still got to get the damn thing in there. Put the fingers. Copy. We're out of here.
Now to see if his shortened rig was worth it.
How much is on the left?
Yeah, you clear. Just keep going straight, mate.
We still had 7 minutes to go.
Ray Kennedy and his team of heavy haulage truckers are in the business of moving gigantic loads.
Go bigger the better and throw a bit of a challenge in you, yeah.
And the challenges don't come much bigger than carting these monsters on a busy highway.
That's a good line there.
2 mining dump trucks weighing 85 tonnes each.
We'll be up around 150 tonne all up, travelling down the road.
The rainstorms they've battled haven't made life easy behind the wheel.
With the wet weather, it was just pushing me around a bit and it was locking the wheels up and sliding.
The conditions have challenged Ray's powerful truck. One of the biggest on the road.
This truck, it's a limited edition. It's a Southern Cross 50th anniversary Mac Titan. They only made 10, so I'd feel proud driving down the road, yeah.
Ray's truck is an automatic.
Everyone reckons I'm not a truck driver because it's an auto, but it makes my life easier at the end of the day.
His second driver, Craig Oldham, isn't slow to remind him.
Real truck, mate. Gear stick, 2 gear sticks.
Ray's convoy has 2 police escort cars and 3 pilot vehicles to control the traffic ahead.
We'll get going in a minute. The police have done their checks and they're happy with everything. Had a storm last night, so shoulders of the road's going to be a bit slippery this morning, so we'll just have to be a bit careful until we see how far the storms went.
With the dump trucks on the back spanning 6.5 metres wide, the convoy can often demand the whole width of the highway.
Dead through middle of our lane.
The road here from here on for now for a few k's gets a bit narrow. You've got to be careful that you don't drop a tyre over the edge because the lips of the shoulders of the road are worn away a bit, so if we drop a wheel out over the edge we've got the chance of blowing a tyre.
A steep mountain range ahead brings more challenges.
Coming up now to what they call the Drummond Range. So yeah, so we get a bit hilly here. We've got a 7% decline here now, so we'll be slowing right down and taking our time going down pretty steady, yeah.
Stay on that line and you'll be all right.
With such a giant load, the truckers have to be careful. The heavy weight on their trailers could force them down the hill too fast.
The trouble with this weight, if you rely on your brakes too much, your brakes overheat, and then once they overheat, you've got no chance of stopping then. You're better off just grabbing the gear and walking down it, and then you don't have to touch your brakes as much then. Easy, decent down the Drummond Range. We had no dramas, so that's one out the way. Now we've got Eaton to tackle. Eaton Range, that's the range before you drop down into Mackay. It's pretty steep at the start of it, and it can be real slippery. We'll see what it's like when we get in there in a couple of hours.
The giant load convoy gets closer to the coast. The traffic is intensifying.
Plenty around with that, Ray.
A bit more populated down here now, so yeah, we've got a bit more traffic to contend with today, but so far they're doing what they're told and everything's going good.
Two loads at 6.5 metres wide, eastbound, Cabot Ridge overpass.
At the front of the convoy, Andrea Broymans is lead pilot, warning oncoming drivers of the approaching wide loads.
What's wrong?
But not everyone is listening.
You've got one little egghead in it now.
He's going to have to back up, isn't he?
On a narrow bridge, one driver ignores all warnings to give way.
Craig must have got out of the wrong side of the bunk this morning. He's a bit cranky on it today.
You and fucking car. Ray's come over.
You know, I can see Craig. Craig is all good.
You got about a foot and a half on your left.
Yeah, old mate in that car didn't listen to the lead escort or the police and kept coming at us and met us on the bridge and had to back up to where it was a bit wider so we could get around him, but made it a bit tight, but we got there.
Keep going in the tanker if you want to.
Got a B-double coming towards us and he don't want to get off too far, so he's just panicking a bit, thinking that we're not going to be able to get past him, but...
Eastbound,
Plenty of room there, Ray. Heaps of room, mate.
There's been more room than he thought. He was panicking.
It's been a tough journey. The intense heat and heavy cargo have pushed the tyres to the limit.
Well, so far that doughy tyre's holding up for us. We haven't had any hassles with it yet, but we won't start skiting too much about that one. Anything could happen yet.
With their destination almost in reach,
Hey.
it's a serious blowout.
Hey, you, bit of rubber? Oh, just blood hard, Copy that. Copy that, I'll return.
We could have done some brake lines or something too, so we'll get off the road here and assess it and see what we can do.
They must have both went together.
Oh, mate, I heard the bang back from there.
Have you done the brake line too? Or?
Well, I reckon.
You know what one I've done?
The big red
one.
Oh no. It's that big red brake line for sure.
Two exploding tyres have damaged a crucial brake line.
So far, that's all we can see, that it's took out one of the main air lines, so then we'll have to have a look and see what other hoses or if there's any more hoses being broken, so we won't know now till we get the rims off.
What the is that?
I think it's took the tank out.
It has.
The casualty list of damaged parts is growing.
Oh, took the air tank off and all. Go for a drive back down there, Matty, and see if you can find an air tank about that long, about that round.
Craig's son and pilot, Matty, is dispatched to search for the missing air tank.
Should be somewhere along here.
2 shattered tyres, a ruptured brake line, and now a missing air tank.
I reckon the air tanks fell off and got under that.
This could be a costly delay for the heavy haulage crew. Back down the road, Matty's found the missing air tank, blown off by a double tyre explosion.
Yeah, that's her. Yeah, we got a cam.
The tyre blowout has crippled the braking system on Craig's rig.
That's why your rim's buckled. That air tank's got nothing coming out of it.
The truckers realise it's just a backup.
So we're right. We'll block that off.
Fortunately, they don't have far to go.
There used to be an air tank here, but it was only an auxiliary tank, so we're pretty lucky there. I'll clamp this over and we'll be on the road again.
I need 2 tyres, them 2 on the bottom.
On the other side there?
Yeah.
So it's spiral right there you go.
We're just improvising now. That air tank is just there for a reserve.
I'll just do this clamp back up so we don't lose it.
By fixing the air hoses, they build pressure for the brakes.
Done. I'll get on 888 team.
Well, we should have been to the top of Eaton Range now to go down, so it's put us behind about an hour. We've only got the police till this afternoon, so no matter what happens, we've got to be in the port tonight, so hopefully no more dramas.
With the daunting prospect of the Eaton Range ahead, Ray calls in an extra truck for some heavy-duty assistance.
Yeah, we're just putting a block truck on just for that little bit of extra support to go down the hill to make it a little bit safer for everyone, yeah.
So for the sake of $300 or $400, it's just very cheap to have him on the arse to sneak you down there. So when we're 150 tonne all up, it's just better, mate, you know.
The block truck will hitch on the back of Craig's rig for extra braking power.
Run me down, and Ray's going to wait up the top of the hill and then go back and get him. We're good, Cameron?
Craig's giant rig is first down the slope. A steep 12% gradient will test his nerves.
Attention all road users. Wide load coming down the range. Westbound lane will be closed.
I hate this place. I hate this range. Like, look here, you've got nowhere to go, eh? If anything starts slipping, and there's been a few blokes killed on here, you know, and I don't want to be one of the bastards.
One wrong move and the giant cargo could gain momentum, forcing his truck down the steep slope.
So this is the worst of it, eh?
I'll go forward a bit.
What do you got there, Benny?
About 900.
Craig coordinates engine revs with Benny, driving the block truck hitched to the back of his rig for extra brake power.
We've got about 150 tonne pushing us down the hill now. No room for error, otherwise you end up over there.
I'll bring you a message later.
I'd rather take an extra 10 or 15 minutes and know that I'm going to go home at the end of the day, you know.
After a cautious 15-minute crawl, Craig makes it safely down.
Oh, good. Job's done.
One truck down, one to go.
Yeah, we'll try and match it.
Yep. Right. See how we go.
Now it's Ray's turn.
We'll start poking over steady. How's that, Ben? I'm not pulling you, am I?
Feel good then, mate. Just keep it like that.
Thanks, mate. Yeah, I just got to keep my revs up a bit, that's all.
Yeah, put the horn.
I'm just coming past the safety ramp now.
Just as the descent is going well, Ray's truck starts picking up speed.
I'm going to grab another gear bend. This thing's going to jump me around, mate. I just grabbed another gear bend to let mine roll a bit. That's not dragging, is it?
Fine now. Come around the hairpin.
Thank you.
Turn my jack brakes back on.
Yeah, mate, just put them on a bit. Yeah, please.
I'm feeling low for you.
Yep, that's good. Thanks, mate. Just turn them off for a minute, mate, please.
Drop my truck on the neutral. Go on.
Righto, mate. Yep. I can handle it from here, yep.
Both trucks and their giant freight have made it safely down.
Without any complications and, yeah.
Now it's a race to Mackay before their oversized permit curfew kicks in.
We've got till 7 o'clock, so we've got an hour and a half, so we should make it, depending on traffic.
After a tyre-busting 1,230 kilometres battling heat and rain, the heavy haulers arrive at the port of Mackay.
There you go, we've reached our destination. Done it in time, job's done.